Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to HBCU. As you can see, we got a new guest today. Well, I shouldn't say guest. He's going to be a mainstay as well. My boy, my brother from another mother, James Sutton. Speak
What
to
it
him.
do? What it do?
How y'all doing? How's it going?
Man, good, brother.
What's happening,
Yeah,
man?
man.
What's up?
So, guys, we got endless topics today. I want to jump right into it. Y'all see what's going on in the sports world, period. So I kind of wanted to go back to what we talked about with the NBA, man. And just kind of hit on, I know y'all heard what Kyrie said, some of the remarks and what people think and how it's kind of a little bit of a divide now. I was catching up on a little bit of it today, so it's kind of picking up. And J-Star, I know you were passionate about it, bruh. So, what you thinking about what you heard, man?
Just the whole thing, man. Continuation of it, man. So, I was telling Brandy about my wife, last conversation we had, and what y'all's thoughts were, and she was kind of like y'all, I should say. She was like, they should use that as a platform, use that moment as a platform, and I understand it, man. So. You guys know where I stand on it. I can see both sides, bro. I can see, how it would be beneficial to keep the season going. And I can also see Kyrie's side too, man. And James, I don't know how much of it you caught, bro, but basically I was just saying, I can understand where Kyrie coming from.
But wait though. The new is that he said he want to start his own league. So
okay, so
how you feel about that? That's the gotcha.
That's a tough one, man. I don't know. I may have to come back on this one, bro. Because
Hey, defer. Who want to jump in?
I'm gonna be honest. I'll be real. So I think you got a good thing established in place. Now that doesn't mean you can't do it, but the structure is already there. And I see his reasoning behind it. For one to do his own, but the structure is there. You're making money. You can affect lives in different ways, I think, through other means. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I like where you're going, but it's tough.
I agree with J-Star, man, because when you think about it, that is, like you're saying, they got the platform, you got a brand established. I mean, on the other side, I don't know, it is tough, but I think it could possibly also probably create more division, possibly, kind of like a competition, really then setting kind of a unified stage and, trying to come together to, just establish a, understanding and everybody get a line and get on the same page, because it's not about, I mean, we want to show, I don't know if it's to show that, from, how Black people can, how Black people contribute more and how we can, if we don't participate, sort of say, how we can affect things or hurt things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know what perspective that he's coming from. So
well, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Is he mainly saying the NBA players in general, or is he saying the Black NBA players?
So, from my understanding, he didn't really give all of that. So, he said it, and matter of fact, I didn't even see him say it. It's just something that came out of a call that they had. But everybody's saying that he said that.
Leaked text message.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, a leaked text message.
I mean, he said start our own league. So our own, to me, who our own is. That's how I take it.
So you just got to leave Kevin Love and all them. And
I don't think that's what that mean, though, man.
I'm gonna get mine at the end.
I think it's more or less trying to put more leadership, owners, coaches, GM, all of them, put all those type of people in place because there's nobody that represents, ourselves in those positions. I mean, there's a few as far as, retired NBA players that move into GM roles and this and that. But other than Magic and his share of what he has, I mean, we have no, majority owner that's, African American.
So James, is it the owners or like coaches? Because they have plenty of coaches.
Well, I mean, I say it from the top down. And you're correct. They have plenty of coaches, but I think as far as when you talk about the back office, when you talk about owners, when you talk about having our league, I mean, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the people who make
ownership,
that write the checks. That's what you're talking about. You're not necessarily talking about let's start a Negro NBA league. I would hope he's not thinking that or going that far, but I would think it would be something more or less of saying that we need to be, represented more in the back office when it comes to, all the major sports, whether it be NFL, NBA. We can even go as far as I forgot who said it, but couple weeks back, as far as the black kids going back to HBCUs, playing football there instead of going to these, D1 Alabamas and your Mississippi States and this and that. Start going back to your Jackson States and your Alabama A&Ms and going there. So it's a big conversation as far as kind of like how you're saying. If we take ourselves out of our talent, what are you guys left with in the sense of, the sport entertainment and whatnot?
I think it's a play on. I think it's a play on power, man. And I mean, whether we like it or not, money is power. Right. So my thing is, I think last I saw something. I think in the NBA was like 75% African American. The NFL, I think, is around the same thing. It might even be more. But like Jason, I'll even challenge your point. Like as far as the coaches, yeah, there are. Well, the NBA has the most black coaches in any other sport. But think about how much shorter their leash is. Like you may have the most common example, the quickest I think of. Think about Mark Jackson. When he took over the Golden State Warriors, they were in the bottom of the league, like terrible. Like every player on that team, like he was on there, he was part of them drafting, he was part of bringing them together. And then, matter of fact, the year he got fired, they had just went to like the second round of the playoffs, which was the furthest they've been in decades. He got fired. You got football.
Man.
Look at Tony Dungy.
Mark Jackson is a terrible example. He's the Rod John.
Wait. We going down a path. Deezy, jump in there, man. Deezy, jump in there, man. I can't let them boys argue Mark Jackson.
All coaches, bro.
I can't even start too long. Deezy, get in there, bro. Can't hear you, Deezy.
See, we need to talk about Mark.
We're gonna let Deezy fix his issue. I heard him having some issues. Man, so there go the echo. I mean, Deezy trying to work. What you got going, bro? You good?
All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
No.
Can't hear you, bro.
Still can't hear you, man. Still can't hear you.
But J-Rod, while Deezy get it fixed over there, man, I understand what you're saying, because I would say like with Tyronn Lue, dude won the championship, and then like a year later, they fired him. Like, I was like,
what's my guy with Toronto? Casey. That dude got fired. That guy got fired the year after he won Coach of the Year.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I agree. Kind of to James' point also, it's understanding what share we got in the game and not seeing that, because it ain't just owners. You also got general managers. You also got positions, in that front office that we don't represent. And while I get, what Kyrie is saying, like 100%, because I've honestly been one of those people that say that they need to start their own league, because there's so many platforms out here, man. I'm gonna take it as far as the NBA, all sports and stuff like that is being a form of, I say it's kind of shaped up to look like modern day slavery, because a lot of the things that go on being traded without notification, you know what I'm saying? You think back when you watch movies and stuff like that. Of course, we didn't live through slavery, but we know how it happened. You know, you had Mandingo fights and stuff like that. You know, who got the biggest Negro? You go out there, you know, you test them out, see, and then they behind the doors, they talking about, man, you want to make a trade? I give you 2 of my best hands, you know, that sort of thing. So why I totally get what Kyrie is saying, and I agree, but I would have to hear more context to it. And that's not necessarily, it's hard for us to fathom dismantling the NBA. But if we cannot, you know, at least understand that we hold a grand share in this, like James said, if you eliminate the black players, what do you have left? What's the form of entertainment left? The fact that we're not saying that white boys can't play, because there's plenty white dudes that's hoopers. You know what I'm saying? I played against several myself, but it's not enough of them represented in the league to hold up that share. I'm sorry, you know. And if you look at the owners and stuff like that, and there's nobody that, you know, not nobody, but there's not enough of us represented, it's like, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely need more context behind it, but I'm not necessarily siding with Kyrie, because it's kind of hard to fathom dismantling the NBA, and I feel like, you know, of course, white people deserve the stuff that they have, that as far as jobs and stuff, they deserve to have jobs and stuff like that, but I don't disagree. These, are you fixed yet, brother?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Good
now.
Good. I guess, I mean, I see it from all the point of views. Right now, in the space that we're in right now, I think I would have to agree with Ja, you know, a little bit, because if we do that right now, I don't know if that's necessarily the right time, or if this is the right time. Because I mean, we don't want to like do too much, too crazy, too fast, you know, because you want to show unity in a lot of different ways. And with the platform that they have, I mean, it's massive right now. To just go and like just dismantle it all and create something new without any real setting for it, I think that would be really difficult. And I'm not sure if that would actually push the movement or the incentives forward for what's going on in the world right now.
I got you, man. So I want to end on that point. I know that's a long discussion, man. You know how we get when we start talking about basketball and stuff. We all passionate about it. But I wanted to share something with y'all. But I don't have that picture. But I want to talk about this Mississippi State flag, man. Like, I can tell y'all what the picture I wanted to show y'all was. Basically, the young man that plays for Mississippi State, Kylan Hill, I want to say, forgive me if I mispronounce his first name, but he was basically saying, and this ain't the first time we've seen this. We've seen this, you know, dealing with Clemson, but Kylan's referring to the flag, and he's saying he's not going to run or down for Mississippi State if they don't remove that flag. You know, it's a lot surrounding that flag right now. We know the SEC said, hey, there will be no postseason play if that flag is not removed. Y'all give me y'all thoughts around that. It don't matter. Somebody jump in there.
Man, that's another tough one. Hey, but I guess I'll give my opinion, you know, so I don't know. It is a tough one, but I really believe in doing, you know, that we need to do what is right, you know, and I mean, that's even down to eliminating, you know, any type of barriers that, you know, can cause division. You know, people are going to always have their opinions. They're going to always have their preferences, you know, but, you know, what's the right thing to do? You know, and, you know, things may have been, you know, in that situation for a long time, you know, the flag but we know that these are unprecedented times, and, you know, there's so much going on in the world today, you know, and so many changes that are occurring as far as, you know, like the COVID and, you know, so many things happening. And so, you know, with George Floyd, so all these different things that are happening, you know, it's causing people to do things that they don't normally do. You know, even TV shows and things eliminating certain movies and things that they would normally show. So when you talk about like the flag, I mean, I think we ought to do what's right. You know, we got to stand, you know, for something and do what we think is gonna, you know, stop the division.
So you think removal of the flag, right?
I would say so, man, because you know, and at least have some meaningful, you know, conversation. Again, you're gonna have some people that's gonna say, hey, it's been that way for a long time, you know. But again, does that mean it's right? So
Right.
I think we need to at least question, you know, that and have some conversation and truly see, okay, if we do make this change, you know, what is it going to cause, or you know, how can it break down some of the barriers?
And for those, you know, that don't know, the Mississippi state flag contains the Confederate flag. So it's called the rebel flag down here. Pretty much what it stands for is South in the Civil War, which was forced slavery. That's what they fought for. So
and they lost.
And they lost. Let's be very clear. They lost. So J-Rob, go ahead and jump in there, man. What you thinking?
Man, I'm not for it, not taking it down, because to me it's all about symbolism. Like let's take the American flag. You know, they were trying to throw Cap under the bus for they kept saying the symbolism and what it stood for. So my thing is, what's the difference with this flag? Like you just explained, like the symbolism is basically, like you said, the South will rise again and we want to keep slavery. So you got all these African American people, those are the people you were trying to keep enslaved. So like, I mean, I get, you know, you don't want to look up and see that. Me personally, like I just feel like the flag don't bother me. Like I can go do what I want to do, walk, see, I can see it all day. And I don't think it'll personally affect me. I think I do agree that it should come down, but I also kind of, the other part of me says, what about all these, the bigger problem is the people that believe the values of it or the symbolism behind that. So you take the flag down, but you still got, like I said, we still got to be progressive in getting the lawmakers and everybody else that are, I guess, you know, putting in stuff, believing it. Though not so much the piece of cloth that represents it, but what about the hundreds of thousands of people that are making laws and making court judgments with that same mentality in place? So I do think it's a great start, because, you know, I think it's a good start, but I think, you know, we just got to keep our foot on the gas with it. I think the biggest thing right now, like pick up where John left off with the times, is that you got a lot of people that are confident in speaking up now. Like you even got I forget the kid's name. I think his name was Mikey Williams. I hope I'm right. But he's in like 8th or 9th grade, and he's already pretty much said what he was saying. He's strongly considering an HBCU. So I think, you know, I think I talked about it last time. I think a lot of people, there are some people that are having a change of heart, but then I think you got a lot of people that it's just that hot topic right now. So I think a lot of people are backpedaling, trying to say face and trying to say that dollars. So like I said, to me, the longer it goes out, I think you'll see the actual, the real change versus that spur of the moment thing right now. But I'm all for us taking it down. All these statues too.
All right.
Man.
What you think, J-Star?
Man, I'm for it, man. I don't know how he gonna accomplish it in 2 months before the season starts. In a couple of months. I don't know that process. That'd be kind of tough, but it's long overdue. You ask me. It's long overdue, and sometimes that's what it takes. You know, some players not saying I'm not going to play. You know, my biggest question is like, how does it affect like the smaller schools, like James said, like the Jackson States and the Alcorns and the Mississippi Valleys? Those are all small colleges in Mississippi, and like, you know, can they really afford like not to play? You know, those schools, because that generates so much revenue for them, for the school, and just for the whole city, really. So it's a touchy one when you get down to the nitty gritty. And then what are the high school people? Are somebody gonna take a stand and say, I'm not gonna play at Lawrence County or Callaway where I went to high school? And, so, I think, at that platform where you got Ole Miss and Mississippi State, those are really good platforms, even Southern Miss, where you can do that. But I think when you start getting to the smaller school levels, especially the HBCU colleges, it can get kind of tough.
Yeah. Southern Miss can't afford to do that. But
they can't.
Nah, they can't afford to do that. They'll be hurting bad. But I definitely get what you're saying for sure. James, what you think, bro?
I mean, I agree with everybody. I think it should be taken down. All the statues, the symbolism. I mean, here in Georgia, I don't know how many times I get behind a pickup truck and see on the license tag. Y'all in Mississippi, so y'all see it on your tag. But in Georgia, they got the sons of Confederate, daughters of Confederate. They got that big old thing. You're sitting in traffic and you see it, and it goes back to, like you said, it's symbolism. You could take it down and people still have that mindset, but that symbolism is what keeps the perpetual cycle going. When you the Nazis and the Jews over, they took all that stuff away from the Nazis because they didn't want a place to have people congregate and try to perpetuate the Nazism. Now you still got it out there. You can't just get rid of it. But I think that's a start. I think he's using his platform, like you said, a big state school, SEC school, to say that, yeah, I'm not going to play. I think that's stand up. For him to, as a college student, because he has nothing riding on him. NBA players can do it all day because they got a paycheck. He putting himself out there as a college student, for his dollars in the NFL, trying to blackball him later on. So I commend him a lot for what he's doing, and hopefully some other people stand up with him and like you said, put the gas on it, and that's where you're gonna really have some change. In the state of Alabama, a couple years, 10, 15 years back, they had the state capitol still have the Confederate flag, and a couple people talked about that, and they got that taken down. So I don't think it's a hard hill to climb. I think it's just if people want to do it. And I think right now we have the climate to do it. So it's like you put everything on your demand list and see what gets scratched off.
James, the only thing I want to piggyback on that, man, is how it's going to work if just one person does it. One person does it, no matter how big he is. I don't think it's going to work. Right. So what do you think? I don't think it can. They're just probably going to replace him, unless the entire team gets behind it. How I struggle to see how big one person in college can do. Now, NFL, different story. If Patrick Mahomes said he don't want to play, then they going to listen. But Kylan Hill, he good. He NFL worthy, and he will be in the NFL. But,
To me, though, I don't think that's, again, I don't know. I think it's kind of beside the point. I think it all starts with us individually, right? What type of person you want to be, or, what type of character. Because, again, you have to make that. Are you willing to make that sacrifice or those tough decisions, no matter the consequences or the cause? And it has to start with somebody,
It does.
That conversation, yeah.
Easy, jump in there, bro.
Well, first off, you got to commend dude on being willing to put it all out there, because he's projected the best back as of right now in the SEC. So he's putting a lot on there. It's not he's not a complete nobody. You can't just replace him. So he knew that before he said something. Mm-hmm. He knew it was not gonna be like he's not like the third string backup, and so. But as far as the flag goes, just as far as my personal opinion, I grew up in Monticello, Mississippi. Like a country of country. Like, I remember the first time we ever took J-Star down there, he's like, man, where y'all taking me to? Y'all trying to leave me out here? Like, it was, it's crazy down there. But, they always speak like heritage, not hate. Heritage, not hate.
2 red lights and a Sonic.
Two, just one.
One red light.
Hey, but we got
Sonic. 2 stop
and we got
signs.
McDonald's and Wards, by the way.
2 stop signs.
Pizza too. Don't hate.
Yes. Come on, bro. Don't do us like that. So they, the guys, they always do the heritage, not hate thing. But I don't even think they really know what the heritage of it is. I don't know what they, you ask somebody, you say, well, what does it mean? Well, it means the South. No, that's not what it means. It was it was way more than that. Most people don't even know what the articles of the succession are, because they don't teach that in school, because they don't want you to know that heritage. They don't want to give you that history. You have to go out and seek the articles of succession to see what those things say. And those are some really, really, really ugly words that they put into those articles of succession. Like the one from Mississippi, like I'll read you one, like just like 2 sentences from it. It's just like, it says, it's talking about slavery, talking about commerce. It says, these products are peculiar to the climate verging on the tropical regions, and by imperious law of nature, none but the black race can bear exposure to the tropical sun. I know that's not even like the craziest thing. That's just something I feel like I could say on here without like going
basically
too crazy.
Basically what you just said was niggas can take high heat and they can work in the field for the longest time.
That's basically what
what you said.
That's basically
okay.
That's basically what it. That's basically exactly what
I just wanted to clarify,
Yeah. And this is written in the articles of succession from Mississippi. So whether I care about the flag or not, whether I care whether it's there or not, if there's going to be unity, if you're going to unite the country, you got to get rid of everything and wipe the slate clean. It's not going to happen as long as there are things like this out there and we continue to just walk by it like it's nothing. So I want it down.
So, personally. Right. Yeah, me too. I wanted to read y'all something, the picture that I didn't have. I did want to read it though. Basically, these were from my informant here. Basically, some screenshots from Facebook, man. So basically, a lot of people saying like, "Who is this? Who cares?" Buy MF. But some of the worst ones that you see is like from this person says, "What's keeping him here?" Oh, it's probably his mom's HUD house and that welfare check. You gotta excuse me. This ain't me can't read. This is people that can't write. She got all her life to be able to send his ungrateful ass to college. Kick rocks is what I say. This one guy said scholarships are rare. He doesn't appreciate that, and he has one. Okay, fine. Just walk away. Go to another school or college. Go through the transfer portal. Using words like boy and stuff like that.
Same words they was using for cap.
Like, it's terrible stuff. With the dog, yeah, Black Lives Matter movement is happening right now, taking a dump. Yeah, I saw that. Man, my thoughts on the flag, being from Mississippi, the state flag is actually rarely flown, at least where I'm at in Hattiesburg, but you will like drive by yards and see the rebel flag, which is definitely a sign of hate most times. Heritage is, if you want to represent heritage, you want to represent a loss, then so that's on you, but it's kind of weird. But what I did have, I want to share with y'all, man. Let me pull this up. It's kind of wild. Let me know when y'all can see my screen.
Gotcha.
All right. So let me move this over. So basically what we're looking at now is another feed from my informant. This was a Facebook group that forgot to put their group as private. This top one is actually some guy from Portugal, basically saying, what are you guys waiting for? Like, let's revolt, basically. And this guy was like, need numbers of people. I'm not going to read each one of these, but like a dude from Portugal. Like if I was there, I'd be there to help y'all. You know what I'm saying? So they basically trying to figure out what they can do, and it gets better. So you see stuff like the South will rise again. You know what I'm saying? They won't have to rise again because the rest of America gonna fall. I guess it's gonna fall because of black people. You know, we're here to stay, so deal with it. You know, and it continues to get worse. This guy, I guess that's his uniform and his pistol.
Oh, that's a musket, ain't it?
My boy Musket gonna jam up. He gonna jam up. He don't know it. He got one shot before he got to clean.
He used that gun in the Civil War.
man. So you know, look, it goes on. This page here was basically it was quite a few people, so you can see it's got like a lot of attention here. You can see like the little Facebook number 7.2K. Whether it don't matter. It's a lot of people seeing this hate. So these people were talking about people laughing and how they was gonna take down their names and crap like that. All right, this where it starts getting flagrant. You know what I'm saying? We're in a war. Time to fight back. You know, hit them where it hurts. Spread the word, blah, blah, blah. You know, turn off the TV when sports come on. Who cares if you watch anyway, fam? Like, these people are delusional. So this one's talking about don't worry about votes. Because when Trump, he'll be our president. Like, they trying to split us up again. Like, they want to split the nation again. Like, that's actually doable. Like, these people are really slow. So, you know, let's see what else we got. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this dude can't write, but basically he was saying like wait till they disband like the police and stuff. You know, we gonna go ham basically. Let's see here.
I got a headache trying to read this stuff.
Man, that's what I'm trying to summarize. It's crazy, bro. Like, yeah, I don't know what that cat was talking about. Let's see. It's an older. It's talking about dildo. I don't know what that fella talking about, man. But okay, there goes another mask. That's his little war mask. Some boy said it's dual purpose and beautiful. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. That's the same one. Let me go. This stuff kind of fell out of order.
Can we make rap illegal?
I'm trying to find. So you saw that, man? Make rap illegal. That's a victory. Fam, come on, bro. This stuff is hilarious.
Can we make it illegal?
Bro, it's hilarious, bro. Let's see.
Oh man,
this is crap. That's
now
crap.
That last one though. Here, the last one you had there.
The last one on the other one. Well,
yeah, that last little.
And go back.
What group is this?
It's some random group, man.
Just a Facebook group in Mississippi or in Hattiesburg or something.
No, dog. Yeah, I don't know where it
was. You didn't establish this great nation. Y'all stole it.
Right. That's insane, right? No, this ain't in Hattiesburg.
I was like, go back home. Like, first off, you took us from home.
You took it from who are the Native Americans, bro? How you gonna call somebody Native Americans and then don't consider them to be American?
And then we get a holiday.
Do you know what the word Native means?
How you discover something that was already here?
You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. I'm trying to get. It's an older lady in here, man, and she gets funny. Let me see this stuff. Like, say, I fill out of order. Okay, this is an older lady right here. So she was like, I've been thinking, wouldn't it be good for time for the South to succeed? Succeed, my bad. So she's trying to form a militia, bro. Like literally, she's trying to form a militia. And this cat talking about he was thinking the same thing, blah, blah, blah. So she talking about she been forming a plan, right? Let's see. I'm by no means a soldier. I'm a housewife with a disabled vet. Old lady, bro. Old lady. Like, come on. And then she started talking about this article. Article 1, Clause 15 and 16. Basically saying that the Congress has to train them and supply them with whatever they need. I looked over this article. And it sounded like the president or the Congress could form a militia and they would train and arm them. Not that regular civilians could form a militia, but I didn't get time to look into it much deeper. But basically, the chick was like, how do we get mercenary help? Like, these people really out here trying to arm themselves and kill people. Where is this hate coming from? Like, if you look at it, like, we don't even hate white people, but there's this much hate in you that you have to say stuff like this. And this stuff just went on and on and on and on, man. And one dude was talking about the purge is about to happen. You know, and some of that stuff, man, like, that's what I was talking about. The protest, the last talk we had, like, I'm kind of ready for them to end, man, because people are dying and they shouldn't be dying. Like, bro, it's 2020, man. We shouldn't have martyrs right now. Like, you got people out here fighting for stuff and dying before they even get to see it. I just don't think it's fair to those people that are passing away and then putting yourself in harm's way for idiots like that. And these people are outraged over a flag. A flag, man, that's some deep-seated, deep-rooted hate, man. And it's terrible. And, you know, I do want it to go away, period.